Welcome to the family with
Cassie Schrader. Oh, my mic on?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird. It sounds different today. Oh, with Cassie Schrader sitting in for Andy Menard.
Oh, Catherine's here. We're gonna wait till Catherine sits down. No, she's here on time. Is Alex coming? He's supposed to be. I know that. But we have Catherine time. We have Alex time. We have Jude licking my legs, of course, the second he gets here. What is that? Oh, so I'll do the intro again then, Cassie, so we can have a nice smooth intro into it.
We can definitely. Oh, no, stop.
Ooh, I like that. You got the closing music all set and ready to go, too.
Yeah, I can just cut this out of the audio. No biggie.
I wouldn't even worry about it. Just leave it in there. It's,
It's the way. Now, let me make sure that this is set back to where it needs to be. Oh. Okay, is it set up to the right thing? I have no idea.
I can hear you, but I can't hear me.
Let's see, you're on seat 1.
I think this is one.
There you are.
I know I can hear you, I think.
It's very faint to me. My voice is very faint.
Okay, Jude, that's enough with the licking. Go on.
Jude.
Is he lick? Let me see if this is
he
set.
licks my legs.
Well, it's okay. I know
nonstop.
what I'm saying most of the time.
You can't hear yourself?
Oh, it's faint. I can hear you guys better
You're
than
very.
me.
Oh, I think Alex is here. So
Weird.
we dodged just long enough. So we're going to start over again. What do you think of that action?
Okay,
Once we get Alex all set up.
let me make sure that the intro stuff is normal.
You
again.
got it.
Oh, Gelfand sits here. That's why the seat's so high.
No, why? Where is this? Why is this all? What is happening? Stop. Okay.
You're playing commercials.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, like, all of a sudden it all changed. So I'm trying to figure out where the intro music, where that went. It's like not here.
I don't have any idea.
I'll look for it.
Well, if you can't find it, it's not that big a deal.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see Catherine.
I see Susie and
And
Marcus.
Susie and Marcus.
Romper room.
Are you
Before
good to
your
go,
time.
Alex?
Very before my time.
Oh, worst case scenario, we can just go in without, and I can always add in
Yeah,
music
who
if I have
cares?
to.
Exactly. Alex, your mic work?
Oh,
Nope,
okay.
not
You're
yet.
on 1, 2, 3.
You're on 3.
There you
I got the
are.
wrong
There she is.
StreamYard situation.
Okay, so I'm going to do the intro without the music. You ready?
Yep.
Welcome to the family with.
Alex Bernard Rasmussen.
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
And sitting in for Andy, Cassie Schrader.
Oh, she blows her picture up huge.
No.
I saw that.
Shot. She's got. Whoa.
Yeah, hold on. It's like delaying adding people. Oh, now Alex is on. Okay, good. There we go.
Oh, she's on there too. Oh, there she
It
is.
can take a while sometimes.
Yeah,
Got
it's
a
like-
wind machine in the studio.
A lot of stuff going on.
Yes, we do.
A lot of stuff.
It is true. Are there big news stories you want to get to? Because there's one here that I don't really understand. I haven't read the story yet, but the headline is a little disturbing.
Well, the whatchamacallit was last night.
Oh, the debate?
Yep, that thing.
Yeah.
Boy, the chatter is very interesting.
Oh, is it?
That.
So tell me
Really?
what it is, because I don't even know.
The chatter online is that the moderators were basically saying, so, Ms. Harris, how much does Donald Trump suck?
Yeah,
And
that's
she just
pretty
agreed
much.
with everything that they said.
David Muir completely sucked at that job. He was so heavily in
I
favor.
watched, 2, 3
Yeah, we watched
minutes of
about
it.
2 or 3 minutes of it.
I thought Kamala, when I watched her, was actually, I have never seen her make sense before when she speaks.
Hmm.
So I was very surprised at how well
Well, if you
spoken
practice
she
it
was
long
with
enough.
but she didn't have a teleprompter.
No, she did not.
And the big criticism of her is that she cannot speak without a teleprompter. So whatever they did, if she did more of that when she was out in public,
You
Right.
prepped her.
I think that would help her a lot because she sounds much more intelligent when she's not talking in whatever circles are going around in her head. I don't even understand her half the time. But yeah, I think the tiny bit that we saw, she did a good job. But that's not the consensus out there. I guess
Oh, it's not?
I don't remember what site bumped Trump to a few points afterwards, and they also that he had won the debate on, I don't know, news something.
Newsmax?
Newsmax.
Maybe. Okay. And
Yeah.
I don't know who, I mean, who do they ask?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the
Who are
whole
they
problem.
asking?
Well, isn't Newsmax, isn't that more of a conservative?
Yes.
I don't
I was
Okay.
gonna say I've never even heard of that.
know. Oh, well, it's all over social media, so whatever.
I
But
watched the whole debate.
Oh, did you really?
I
God, how
did.
can you do it? Did you
Oh, I
doing
muddled
drugs?
through it.
Hopefully, because seriously.
Oh, I can tell you what, we were having a lot of fun. Dave and I were looking at each other. We'd look at each other, we're like, what the heck did they just say?
Right.
And it was like they were running in circles. Now, Harris, she did sound a lot more, she sounds more intelligent in knowing what she wants to say if she's more herself.
Yeah.
It seems like when they do when she has scripted stuff, it's like it's like her personality wants to burst out and they don't want it to or something. But it's like none of them, a lot of it was a lot of words, but no substance behind it.
I
They were
know.
Okay.
a lot of platitudes were thrown around, and they were talking about the economy. And honestly, I thought that should have been a huge topic
Mhm.
You
at the
would think
debate.
so.
And they kind of just swept it under the rug, like, oh, and same with healthcare too. And they're like, yeah, more pressing issue,
That's
um, climate
Alex,
change.
You're turning me way up.
Oh,
Sorry.
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 Yeah, they were saying, they kind of poo-pooed the health insurance issue and healthcare costs. And then like, oh, we got to go to a more pressing issue. We got to talk about climate change. And I'm like, wait a minute. I understand that climate change is important, but our healthcare system is
Destroyed.
that's a
It's
little
destroyed.
bit a priority thing. You
Yes.
know what I mean? So it was just, I don't know. I thought it lacked a lot of substance. Like,
I
you
think
tell
you're
me you
right
wanna-
about that. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of self-employed people, they're paying as much in healthcare as their house payments cost
Oh,
Mhm.
for a
God.
family of 4. I mean, it's just unsustainable.
Mhm.
And if they're going to go, and they keep promising every year it's going to go up and up and up and up, and I don't know how people are going to be able to do it.
Mhm.
You know, they keep on talking, and people need to have more kids. Our population decline, blah blah blah. You can't afford more kids if you have to pay $600 a month for a child to have health coverage, and then it doesn't cover anything.
I saw something online the other day that the cost of having 3 children now is the same as it would have been, like, just cost of living and whatever, as somebody having 10 children in the 80s.
Oh my God.
That would make
What?
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because inflation is that high.
Mhm.
I know it's terrible.
I
It's
know.
terrible.
And then they do, and then I guess Trump started talking about the assassination attempt, and they shut him down. They
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
let
what I
him
heard.
speak.
Yep.
So it did, I didn't watch it, but everybody's saying online that it looked very biased.
Oh,
And that
did
the
it?
moderators did a terrible job. What do you think, Cassie? How about the moderators?
They were leaning towards Harris heavily. One thing they did do though, they said that in the beginning, they're like, your mic will be cut when it's not your turn to speak. You can't talk out of turn, blah, blah, blah. They kept letting Trump do that. And Dave's like, why are they letting him do that? I said, it's for ratings, honey. Just let it happen. He's like, well, they said, I go, they can change the rules. They're the powers
Well,
that be. They're the media.
And to probably make him look like, oh, see, he's interrupting her all the time. He
Right.
doesn't respect women, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that was really weird to me. Like they would cut her mic and you could hear her off mic on his mic, but they kept letting him talk. I thought that was kind of weird. I'm like, I don't know, is this a ratings thing? But he did, I don't know, he does a lot of repeating of his stuff.
Yeah.
And he
Really
did a
does.
lot of that last night. It's like, okay, she doesn't have substance and he's just repeating the same words every, 50 words he says.
Then apparently they fact checked him 11 times and they never fact checked Harris once.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, because I know they said you could go to the ABC website and check they had like a fact checker thing on their website or something like that, but I didn't take a look at it. But
Is that what they were talking about, or were they fact checking him live?
it wasn't fact. I don't think it was fact checking live.
See, I think that's what they should do.
Right?
I think they should have like a 2-hour debate
Mhm.
and all of the lies that they say, like this, like the one thing that I saw was he said that Kamala wants illegal immigrants that are in prison to be to allow them to have transgender surgery whenever they're in prison, and the taxpayer has to pay for it. And she said, she looked at him and she shook her head. And then online, right afterwards, there is video of her saying that that's what she wanted. That's what she wants. She has flip-flopped a lot in her policies in the last 4 years. And I mean, that's fine. You want to flip-flop on your policies, give us a reason and say, I don't believe this anymore because yada, yada, yada. Not say I never said it, because with the internet, it's all out there. Even if the media is on your side and is not going to tell anybody what you said and do their job, then it's still out there. People can see it. Granted, most people, probably 80% of millennials, won't go look for that.
Right.
Yeah. It like the one issue that they're really pushing that she's flip-flopping on is fracking.
Right.
And the young people, they don't give a crap about fracking. So it's not going to pique their radar. The young voters, they want to know if you're flip-flopping on social issues, not fracking. So they're not going to notice a flip-flop, on her behalf, and they wouldn't know. But now if she flip-flopped like on a social issue like abortion or gay marriage or something, then you would see the uproar about it. I think it would be more prominent than it is now with her flip-flopping on fracking.
Yeah, but fracking, really does drive the economy. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like I said, that's one of the reasons why I didn't watch it, is because this is kind of what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever been surprised during a debate? Like, oh my gosh,
No.
I love this person now. I always hated them, and now I watch the debate, and now I think
I've changed my mind.
fantastic.
I know.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that a debate is ever something surprising.
Every debate I watch, it makes me hate politicians even more.
Exactly. That's why I can't watch it, because I already have a deep loathing of the political system.
Yeah, I know. I do too. It is what it is. But then he did. It piqued because I was starting to kind of tune out, and all of a sudden I heard him talking about eating pets, and I'm like, I looked at my stepdaughter. I'm like, we're looking at each other and we're like, what the hell is he talking about?
Well, that's another thing that's been around on the internet for the last 10 days. There is video of a Haitian woman. I'm not making this up. I'm just the messenger. Sitting on someone's driveway. She had killed someone's cat and was eating it, and the cops were there.
Oh, so it did happen
on film. There is video of people in this town of Springfield that has been, it's a town of 60,000. And now all of a sudden they've got 20,000 people in their school systems that don't speak English.
Oh, God.
Haitians, a lot of them do believe in voodoo, and they do a lot of animal sacrifices, and they're thinking that is why they're taking a lot of these animals. I guess animal sacrifices are legal in most states because there are religions that do that.
Yeah, it's protected under religious practices. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Jude, come here.
Yeah, somebody said, I did some outreach stuff in Haiti, and between the hours of 1 and 4 o'clock in the morning, there are so many animal sacrifices. You can hear the animals screaming.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
it's
God.
Not uncommon in that culture.
So why are they denying that it happened then? If it did happen, there's video of it happening.
Because that would make everybody go, oh my God, they are, this is.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of rapes, murders,
Really,
car crashes, all due to different cultures coming here, getting licenses automatically, getting into communities that they don't know any of the laws, they can't read English. It's going to cause problems, especially in the school districts. And they don't talk about that, but man, somebody eats a cat in someone's driveway and everybody sits up and takes notice.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's just so out of our realm of our culture. We have rapes, we have murders in America, always have, always will, no matter who's doing it. So I guess that's something that maybe we just shrug off now because it's just so common, especially in our large cities. but somebody killing a cat's not normal and eating it.
Okay, I
in
want to
your
read these
driveway.
two things. This is-
Generally not.
both of these are from the Associated Press. The first one, Trump falsely accuses immigrants in Ohio of abducting and eating pets. Then you go 6 stories down, and this is a different story. Ohio is sending troopers and $2.5 million to a city that has seen an influx of Haitian migrants. So if they're not doing anything wrong, why are we sending troops and spending $2.5 million to protect the city if they're not doing this?
Well, because this was a Harris policy. This is that anybody who applies, they can fly them in from wherever. I don't know why Haiti is all of a sudden someplace that needs to evacuate into the United States. I haven't heard of anything.
Oh,
Abnormal
Haiti's part of certain parts of Haiti are absolutely terrible.
Oh,
be
Haiti's
in.
Haiti's terrible, but
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was a civil war going on.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
they would be refugees all of a sudden and have to get out like instantly. I haven't heard of any uprisings.
I think just generally it's always terrible.
It is. The Dominican Republic, when we were there, they have towers. They have a huge wall between
They do, yeah.
Haiti and the DR.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dominicans are very prejudiced against the Haitians and do not want them over in their culture.
Yeah.
Because they have very little education. They, like I said, I read a statistic, and I don't know if it's true, that 40% of Haitians believe in voodoo.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good place. There's a
Yeah.
lot of crime. There's a lot of weird stuff that goes on there. And yeah. And now all of a sudden you bring people into a tiny little town and say, deal with it. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, but Harris Biden did this policy, and you know how it is. The journalists cover up any negative stuff. They do not do their jobs in many cases.
Well, so 20 years ago, we went to the Dominican for the first time.
Yeah,
How old were you,
probably
Alex?
20 years ago.
You were about 12,
20, 25 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
20, 25 years ago. But honest to God, this was true. We played golf, beautiful golf courses there. There's no question about that. But our caddies kept telling us, do not go. If you hit a ball into that mountain range over there, do not go in there looking for it, because that's where the Haitians sneak through. They come over the mountaintop and then sneak through. And then I found out that they were able to cut back on some of them sneaking through because they started killing everybody that came across that way. They were literally slaughtering people because the Haitians apparently were causing so much trouble in the Dominican Republic that they were killing them.
Well,
Like, my God.
They have a lot of the tribal stuff with, you know, what you have to do to cleanse yourself from getting HIV.
Right.
It's a very different culture from ours. That's for sure.
It is all true. Should I lighten the moment for a second? I just
Sure.
look, this stuff is
Yeah,
very, very
sounds
important. Don't get me wrong. It is really
fun.
important to talk about all this stuff and all the rest of it. But so we really, before we move on, so these reports are basically saying that it is true that people are eating pets, but on
It
ABC,
isn't every person.
No,
is
that's not
eating
what they were
pets.
saying
it's
anyway.
Not tons and tons of them, but yes, there is video evidence of at least one. So yeah.
Why would they arguing against this if it actually did happen?
like I said, because they're protecting.
Well, I think if
The
a
policymakers.
president mentions it in a debate and there's video evidence of one person doing it, it makes it sound like it's a way bigger problem than it actually is.
Mhm.
Like
Well,
if Kamala Harris had been like, you know, people wearing 27 hats at a time and doing Irish jigs is just such a problem. And there's like one video of a guy on the internet. Like people would be like, why are you even talking about
This
this?
But I have
isn't
a question.
trending.
You know, yeah, like it's kind of a dumb thing to bring up
it-
in that situation.
There have
Yeah.
been the taking of ducks and carrying geese and all this stuff.
Well,
And
yeah, but I mean,
I know.
well, but still,
But
if we're
it's
spending
still-
$2.5 million and sending troops in, something's going on.
something is going on. There is
Yeah.
also a
But there's a-
video of a city council meeting talking about the many concerns of
Right.
the community.
Right.
Well, yeah, and there's a better way to talk about it than just saying everybody's eating pets. Like
Yeah.
that's not it.
Well,
That's
and
not
of course,
happening.
on social media, it just became like meme-tastic. Everybody's just doing all of these, Donald Trump's carrying pets out of a war zone. And, I mean, it's just gotten to
That's
be
pretty
like,
funny, actually.
it's gotten to be crazy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, well, we move forward. Now, this is an important story, and I
Mhm,
want to treat it with the importance that it deserves. Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
mhm.
The health department in Queensland, Australia, put out an alert the other day letting people know that it's okay to poop at work. The
What?
government sent out this message.
I don't.
It's apparently something that many people struggle with to do their best to, or do the best to avoid. They had fun with it by getting on the Symphony Dolphin meme, where you post a whimsical image of a dolphin and rainbows with a non-inspirational message, and the 2017 song Symphony by Clean Bandit. Their post said, "It's okay to poop at work," adding that lots of people find it difficult, even though it's nothing to be embarrassed about. They say it's important for people to hear because consistently ignoring your need to go can lead to serious illnesses like hemorrhoids or internal blockages. So it's better to let it out than hold it in. They dropped the term poop paranoia and listed 4 things that might help people who suffer from it. So they have to tell the people it's so. Look, I will tell you
I'm
one
sorry, Tom,
What?
but the way that you talk about the bathrooms all the time when you go down there and somebody's
You do talk
blowing
about
it up.
Oh,
I
nonstop.
can just imagine if you were in an office with a bunch of cubicles and you can't,
Yeah.
my God, John, stinky ass. I
Yeah.
can't take it anymore. What are you eating for lunch? You would be terrible.
Yeah, you
I
You would
would.
definitely poop shame someone.
you would.
What are you talking
You
about?
would.
I'm
Shame
very
people on
giving.
here all the time.
Yeah.
Very giving, but there's always at least one, and most times 2 people pooping in there.
See?
It's true, though.
I know. And you come in here and you're like, Jesus Christ. What the hell?
Back off on the.
Stop having fiber.
Yeah, stop eating fiber. That's exactly right. Yeah, it's what are you gonna do? Okay, remember that everyone poops, they say, by visualizing someone famous on a toilet like Taylor Swift.
What?
Why would I? What?
Visit her on a
I
toilet?
don't want to.
Seriously.
Oh.
What kind of, we used to be a serious country.
Yes,
I
we
don't
did.
even know what that means.
She did come out and support Kamala Harris today, though.
Shock of the century.
She
Shock of the
did.
century.
She-
Yeah. Bring a small fragranced spray in the toilet with you.
Poopery.
Poopery. Yep. Yep.
It
Poopery.
works.
Avoid food or drinks that might trigger your bowels.
Sauerkraut.
Coffee.
Coffee. So yeah, that's true. Breathe deeply or do a short meditation exercise. Some deep breathing right after one of your coworkers followed this advice. Yeah, let's not do. You go poop and then I'm going to deep breathe in the toilet. Yeah, I don't
Sounds like
think.
you're
think
giving
they're
birth
talking
in the
outside of the toilet. You deep breathe. To relax.
God,
Breathe through it.
this is the
Right?
lead story
I don't
on.
know.
I don't want to breathe deeply in a toilet. I basically
No.
hold my breath. as much as
I
can.
know. I don't want to inhale any more than I
Well,
have.
even if
Depends
it
on the
doesn't
public
stink,
toilets.
It just got
I
like,
don't know. Yeah, like Fawn,
Who
when
knows
we're
what's
in
in there?
public, she'll be like, I need to go to the bathroom. I want you to come with me. And I'm like, okay.
oh God.
And she'll just like hang out and chat
Oh yeah.
and take forever to wash her hands.
Uh-huh.
And so many times I'm like, Fawn, I don't like hanging out in public bathrooms. Can we please leave this place? Like, I mean, I'm not trying to rush you, but can we, it shouldn't take this long.
It's not a social hour.
Yeah.
Come on,
I'm
kid.
like, let's get out of here, please.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
favorite was when she was what, 3 or 4? 3. If she wanted you to take her to the potty, she had to undress completely.
Mhm.
Oh yes, right.
And I'd be holding, first she'd give me her pants, which would be normal. Then she'd give me her shirt, which is, I'm like, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden her shoes and her socks.
That was probably
Well, come on,
2
2?
because we potty trained her at 22 months.
Yeah. And, so she'd have to
was
be completely nude to poop in a public toilet.
yeah, she was potty trained.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
what
she was
this
potty
is.
trained. Well, she was just such a nudist
Yeah, she
for a
was
long
nude.
time
She
anyway.
was a nudist.
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
She- wanted to be naked as much as humanly possible when she
Mhm.
was a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was, but it was just so, so I'm like making sure nothing falls on the gross floor.
Yeah.
in
Well, the shoes you can go
cubicle.
on the ground.
Yeah,
That's where they
still
belong.
a bit gross.
I don't know. Yeah. I know somebody that will not poop at work. He'll drive home and do it.
Oh yeah, I know. I know someone like that too. They will not
Really?
poop in public.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
won't do it.
Mhm.
Huh.
They drive home.
Well,
Why
there's
not go to another floor? Then nobody's going to know you did it.
well, there's something called sphincter law.
What?
Sphincter law. It's a thing.
Law.
It's just called sphincter
Oh.
law. And it's like it is mentioned in like birthing books and how like a lot of the time people have a hard time, like they'll be getting close to having the baby at home and then they'll move to the hospital and then things will regress.
Sure.
And that's because of sphincter law, because your sphincters tighten when you have like stress or
When you have an
transition
audience.
or an
Mhm.
audience
An
or,
audience, yeah.
hospitals aren't
Audience.
exactly relaxing.
No.
So you go from home where you're comfortable to the hospital and everything tightens. And that's a similar thing why like sometimes when you're traveling, you don't poop for a few days because
Mhm.
your body,
Oh.
your sphincters are just tense
I
because
thought it
you're
was
not
the-
relaxed.
stressed.
I thought it
Yeah,
was the
everything's
pressure in the
stressed.
airplane. or
I
something.
mean, that probably has something to do with it too. But I mean, if you, I don't know. I'm like, that makes sense. So if you're at work, it's
yeah,
some
you're
people-
under
I have
social
Crohn's
scrutiny.
disease. I
Yeah.
don't have a choice.
yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
when
there
you
you
gotta
go.
go, you gotta go. I
Right?
don't know. That's
Yeah.
one. I don't know. I guess I'm lucky. I don't have like such a ordeal.
It
with
happens. We're
pooping. It's like
human.
you just when you have to go, you get it over with in 30 seconds, and then you leave. Like it
Very
doesn't
happy
need to
if I
be
ever have to go, son.
such a thing. Yeah, you're like sweet.
I'm like, I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can
Uh.
see where this would all be a thing.
Yeah.
People not wanting to.
I
poop.
just find it weird that the government had to tell people that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, well,
strange.
apparently it's a huge problem.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're
I
going to
don't
put out
know.
a second memo or an addendum to it to make sure they wipe properly too.
Oh God.
Ish.
If I worked at an office, I definitely would have a little thing of poopery
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
me that I would bring
Yeah,
into
Or
the bathroom.
something.
100%. I'd have like a little
Yeah.
basket of like
Yeah.
I don't know, tampons, poopery.
Yeah.
Or citrus spray.
Yeah,
Citrus
something.
takes care of everything.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
know,
So
just like
Little essential
little,
oil, something.
yeah,
just
something.
something.
Yeah, I
Not
don't know.
Glade,
Not Glade.
because that stuff.
Oh,
gives
it just
me a headache
it just smells like
instantly.
poop and
right. It
Yeah,
smells like
it's
somebody
like-
crapped
Yeah,
in a
mist.
flower
It's
bed.
like- it's horrible.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
it
a-
doesn't
it's
cover
like
up
a
anything.
BO cab.
Yes.
It's like all the air fresheners in the world are not covering
Yes.
up your nasty
Yeah.
BO.
You can hang up as many Christmas trees as you
Yeah,
want in
it's not
there.
working.
It's not going to work.
No, it doesn't work.
It smells really bad.
So
Very negative. That's all I have to say to
when you
all
brought
of
it
you.
up.
Yeah. you're-
I was just doing my
You did it.
job. I'd like to point that out.
That's what
It's
it
just
is.
part of what I do for a living. Is that correct?
Yes, I guess.
I suppose that's true. Okay, moving on from poop now, because that was about
Poop and politics.
11
what
minutes.
say?
and politics.
same old shit.
Same
exactly.
old
Yeah,
shit,
right?
We should
exactly.
change the name of the podcast. Poop and politics.
Okay, question for all of you. I've not opened this story yet.
Okay.
National Preparedness Month. Apparently, September is National Preparedness Month.
What are we being prepared for?
I don't know.
Okay.
So, what is the first thing you would grab in an emergency?
It depends on the emergency.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how they phrase it. What's the first thing you would grab in an
My
emergency?
children and my pets.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, that's not really a thing, though,
And some
is it?
money.
Are you
Well,
talking about like a
yeah, like if somebody's coming in and robbing us, I'd grab something different than if the house was on fire.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
very true.
Like it's,
yeah,
emergencies
Right.
can be very different.
yeah.
If all of a sudden mom started having a seizure, like that would be different than if I don't know.
Y'all had a pile in the basement for a tornado.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be a
like
lot of fun.
it's just
Yeah, you have to define the emergency.
we need to be more specific.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to find out what's most important. September's National Preparedness Month. The government launched it 3 years ago after 9/11 to encourage us to be ready for any type of crisis.
They launched it 3 years ago after 9/11.
That's correct. It was
Oh, it's
only,
9/11 today. That's why that's why that time came up.
but it was 20 years after it actually happened.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
God,
been
it's
a
been
bit.
almost a quarter of a century already.
Yeah, I was in
Right.
7th grade.
Unbelievable.
I know.
So in any case, September is National Preparedness Month. The government launched it 3 years ago after 9/11 to encourage us to be ready for any type of crisis. A new poll for it looked at the top of the things we'd grab if we had to evacuate in 5 minutes. These are the top things that people would grab to evacuate in 5 minutes. Can you guess what number one is?
If you had to evacuate your home,
I guess it just says evacuation. Let me
I
go
would
and see.
say
Is it
this
a home?
is too vague.
Well, okay, we'll see what the situation
Yep.
is. Okay, so you guys have a guess. There are 10 of them.
People, pets,
Telephone,
telephone,
money, keys.
Okay.
identification.
Well, hold on to those ideas because I got them here. I don't really understand this at all. This is an emergency. Number 10 is the number one thing they would grab would be a snack.
A
What?
snack.
I
I
guess if you were going to be
A
It depends.
stay in
Yeah.
the basement for 3 hours, maybe.
Yeah, it depends
I
on
don't
the
know.
emergency. If there was, like if all of a sudden the city burst into flames and you had to evacuate and you had 10 minutes to get out, I'd grab some food for sure.
Well, I suppose.
'Cause,
There you go.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know
like,
what time you'll be able to eat.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Number 9 makes sense. Number 9 is water.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
got to stay hydrated, no question. Number 8 would be shoes. So some of us would grab our laptop and run outside barefoot. So grab your shoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7 is your laptop.
Hmm.
I wouldn't care about that in the
Laptop?
least.
I don't even own a laptop. So
Yeah, there you go.
My laptop at all.
Well, you're sitting at one right now. aren't you?
this isn't mine though.
So you'd have to
This is-
run out with that from here, though.
I think I'd leave it.
Number 6, extra clothes. I would not bring extra clothes. You can always get clothes. That's not a problem. You think?
Well,
Alright.
definitely socks and underwear. That's a
That's-
must.
That's
Well,
a
I
good
suppose,
thing
yeah.
to have. Yeah,
That's
I
a good
mean,
point.
depending on the emergency.
Number 5 is very sweet. Number 5, people would grab their family photo albums.
I was gonna say like family photos or like childhood thing. Like I'd probably grab Bear Depending on
Well, you
how
gotta
much
get
time
Bear
I
Bear,
had.
yeah.
You know,
Okay.
Fawn would get Blanky, 100%.
No,
Mhm.
that's very true. Okay, number 4 would be your prescription medications.
Mm.
Good plan.
Mhm.
Yes, that's a
Probably
You
must.
true.
have those.
Probably
yes.
true. Number 3, important documents like passports and social security
Yes.
cards. What
I
you were
said it.
talking about, yeah. Number 2 would be your wallet or your purse.
Yeah, money. See,
Got to have money.
Mhm.
But number 1, you guys were absolutely right. Number 1 would be your phone.
Mhm.
phone.
And a charger.
Oh yeah, they're just
Yeah,
leaving.
yeah, and the
They're just leaving
charger.
the
They're
children
leaving the pets
behind.
and the kids.
Yeah, it doesn't even mention pets and kids.
Maybe
so-
maybe it's
Grandpa.
non-living things.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh.
thinking. It's like what material
Yeah.
things would you grab? And phone, I agree
know.
with because that'd be a key for communication within your family. You know, and then of course the IDs and stuff. That
Yes.
way you can prove who you
Yeah.
are. But
Yeah.
a phone I think is essential, unfortunately. But yeah, just to keep in communication with people, especially during a crisis, is important. So
Yeah.
Well, I've seen I just saw a thing about schools are starting to do like a shared Google Doc with the whole staff of who's in your classroom during lockdown drills and stuff and
mhm.
tornado drills and all that kind of stuff because
I'm sorry. So the alarm goes and the teacher's supposed to go over and
no, you get everybody in your classroom and then you can like go on your phone and be like, I have this person. Because if a kid's wandering in the
Oh.
hallway, you're supposed to just yank whoever's
Oh,
in
okay.
near your classroom
Sure.
into your room. So then if they're not in their classroom that they're supposed to be in, then the teacher can see, like look at the Google Doc, like, oh, where's Jimmy? Oh,
Oh,
he's
gotcha.
actually in the other classroom. Like somebody's got him.
Okay.
I thought that was
That's a
smart.
good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's free and like easy to access for everybody. And it's like that's a really good idea rather than like,
Reduces
oh, the text
anxiety.
chain of I have this person or whatever, just
And also, this is still hurricane season, and apparently there is a hurricane heading towards
Yeah.
The United States right
Yeah,
now.
where
Okay.
Louisiana again?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
New Orleans again. It looks like
Yeah.
might get hit by a hurricane.
Mhm.
What is that? Like every 3 years now, they get hit by a hurricane.
area
oh my
is
gosh.
hammered. It's almost like the Keys. It's like, geez, you guys.
Yeah.
How do you live here?
Yep.
People under 35, what is the number one thing they would grab in an emergency?
Well, I am 35.
Well,
so-
there you go.
Am I? One of the students asked me yesterday, I was like, I'm
You were born
30.
in 1989.
So I'm either 34 or 35. I'm like,
I
I'm pretty
know.
sure I'm 35.
Yes, February.
I know. When you get in the 30s, it
I
gets
know, it's
murky.
I
When
know,
your
you have to
kids-
do the
like,
finger count.
I feel 25. So
There you go. But what's the number one thing your age group would grab?
Cell phone.
their phone.
Nope.
No?
What?
That was like the second or third thing they would grab.
Protein shakes.
You
Okay.
weren't.
The
you weren't-
vape.
I had one this morning. Rude.
You ready?
What? Yeah.
Number one among your age group, the first thing they grab in an emergency would be their gaming console.
Are you
No.
serious?
Oh,
That's
come
what it
on.
says right here.
Oh my gosh. Fawn's
Wow.
teacher had them do a couple get to know you things,
Mhm.
worksheets the first week of school. And it was, this is my full name. These are the people I live with. These are the pets I have. This is my favorite movie, my favorite TV show, my favorite video game. And Fawn looks at it and then looks at her teacher and goes, I hate video games. And her teacher's like,
What?
really? And Fawn's like, I hate them. And she was like, well, just right. I don't like video games. She just was like, I hate them.
Why does she hate them?
Well, she's
I-
never really played
No,
them,
she's
so I
never
don't-
really played video games. And like Sage will play them. Well, no, because she's played them. Because the only time Sage plays them is at his cousin's house.
Sure.
They play Mario Kart or something like that.
Mhm.
Oh, he doesn't play them at home?
No, we don't have any gaming.
Oh, you don't have
consoles.
any? Okay.
Actually, I think Dan may have an old Xbox.
Oh, squirreled away somewhere.
Yeah, we might have a Wii. I don't know if it even works though. Maybe we got rid of it.
I love the Wii.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
that's
might
fun.
have an Xbox, but I have no idea where or how to use it or anything. But yeah, so they'll play it at their cousin's house, and Fawn did it one time, and then she just was like, "This just isn't for me." And Sage goes over there and is like, "When can we play them?"
Yeah. A lot of
So-
boys seem to like them more than
I
girls.
know, and I'm like, "That's a perfect thing because he can, if he wants to go play them, he can go play them over there.
Right.
Go hang out with your cousin."
So why don't you want to play? Because they get too involved in them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, just seeing Andy and how
Oh, he went off the
much
deep
only
end.
thing
of
he
his
ever wanted
life
to
was
do.
consumed by
Yeah.
video games, and
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
we know some people whose lives have really been
Bro-
altered
yeah.
by video
Yes.
games and online gaming and stuff. So,
Yep.
and we're just trying to limit the amount of screen activities they're doing
Mhm.
because they're on screens. Their school actually really doesn't spend a ton
Well-
of time on screens, especially when they're little. But it's
I
like,
think one of the people you're thinking of, if it's the same one that I'm thinking of, he didn't have any access to
Yes.
any video games
Yes.
until he got to go to
yeah,
college.
there's
And then it was like,
yes.
finally, I
Mhm.
get to do this.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like finding the balance of
Right.
Mhm.
like you can have some, but it's not going to be a huge thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like,
demonizing something makes it as
Yes.
attractive to some people
Yes.
as
oh,
you know,
absolutely. And
just-
like with Sage, when he goes over to his cousin's house, it's like, oh, you got to play your video game? Fun. How was that? It's not like we don't say anything negative about them.
Okay.
We're just like, we don't have them here.
Yeah.
Because we just don't have any. You're like,
Right.
I don't know. It's
Mhm.
just not something we own. And maybe as he gets older, if he starts really caring about it, then maybe, I don't know. But like as of right now, I mean, they're so little.
yeah, they don't need to play those.
But I mean, I think every other kid in the class had a favorite video game.
sure. Well, a lot of times dad plays it and mom plays it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Minecraft and Roblox are
Oh God.
a big thing with that age group.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
All right, this cannot be true. The first debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris took place last night. It aired on ABC and was simulcast on CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News. I will let you guess which one added fart sounds whenever
Oh,
Harris spoke.
Okay.
That can't be true. They're
No.
making that up.
Dumbest thing I've
Adding
ever heard.
fart sounds.
God.
That'd
I
be
don't
pretty
think an
funny.
actual
though.
news site, not that they are real news sites anymore, but it's probably a YouTube video or something.
Yeah,
Or
it's-
TikTok,
that's
I would guess.
Ridiculous.
Now, see, this is funny. This is a good one.
Is it?
Trump accused immigrants of using cats for food. What he conveniently admitted was that he uses cats for hair. That's pretty
That's
good,
pretty
don't
good.
you think?
You
That
got
does
it.
look like cat
Yeah.
hair. It does.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. I saw something the other day of somebody, what's it called? Photoshopped Donald Trump's mouth to be his eyes.
Oh,
And you
God.
cannot tell the difference.
Really?
What?
He looks the same.
Really?
No.
I'll see if I can find it.
Weird.
Even
That
though
is-
there's no pupils in his mouth.
No, because his eyes are always so.
Squinty.
So he does
There was
squint a lot.
There
Yeah,
was
he
a
does,
video
yeah.
of Donald Trump. There was a I don't know what to call anybody anymore. It used to be special needs. Now it's what is it?
Disabled.
Disabled
Yes.
person. She was like, "I really like your hair," and he looked at her like, "Really?
You're the
I
one.
never
we
hear
sure?
that anyone likes
Yes.
my hair."
I don't even like my
It
hair.
was- I know. And then she said, "My dad really loves you." And he said, "Oh, well, your dad seems like a very smart guy." And she says, "He's dead." I'm like, "Oh man, this is a tough one," but he handled it.
Yeah.
very
Awkward.
nicely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's like, oh
I'm
my
gonna.
God.
Can I? There we go. Okay. So to the left is just Donald Trump. To the right is his lips are his eyes.
Yeah.
It looks the
Well,
same.
yeah, if he's squinting, yeah. it
Well,
does
he
look the
always
same.
is.
Can you
Is he
hold it
always
up to the
squinting?
camera?
Well, when
Yeah,
you get old,
I'll
your
try.
eyes just start falling apart.
Where is it?
Oh yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
just looks like he's
Yep.
squinting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well, and his
weird.
mouth is always so like.
Yeah, it's always.
What's up, Jude?
Yeah, he's got
You
like
know-
that lower pouty lip thing
Yeah, he
going.
does.
Yeah.
He does.
No, but
yeah.
it looks pretty much the same.
Well, he's
Oh,
what
this
is he?
is
78 now?
pretty funny.
I would like to know if he has a makeup artist because she's obviously not blending in his
No.
tan.
Yeah, there's
spray
definitely.
tan.
Well,
No.
and the thing is it's like no,
He's probably been putting the same crap on his face for 40
Yeah.
years and just isn't going to change now. You know, I'm
Yeah,
not,
and
I'm
he's
not doing
just like,
anything
"This is what I
different."
do.
He just does the into his palm. And they're
Yeah.
like, "Can we help you with your makeup?" No, don't touch me.
yeah.
Yeah, and I know
Yeah,
he,
he's an almost 80-year-old man.
he's
not
probably
gonna-
still buying Aquanet for his hair. and
Probably.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
hair is something.
Why do you think he does comb his hair? Why doesn't he get his hair did?
I
As
just
they
think,
used to
I just
say.
think that once people get in these,
routines.
this is what I look like and I am aging, but when I was 50, I felt good and I'm just going to keep with the times when I felt good or look good. You know,
Yeah.
that's just, I mean,
Yeah.
you see some women with the same exact hairstyle through their entire lives.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they would probably do better if they did a different hairstyle.
Well, you still see people with hairstyles from like the early 80s.
I sat on an airplane
And I'm
next
like-
to a man with a mullet.
Yeah.
And
Really?
those
I,
are making a
Oh,
comeback.
say mullets are back.
Oh man, it was a bad mullet though.
But it- not like-
I it was all I could do to not be so distracted and just stare at him.
Yeah.
I was like, what would possess you to have this hairstyle?
Yeah. Well,
Uh.
because the mullets that are in now are not like the super short,
His
like
was.
business in the front, party in the back, long
Yeah.
thing. It's like the sides are cut super short and then
Everything else is
everything else is kind of longer and shaggy. And that's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was just
what
this
mullet
was
is okay
nasty.
now. I have a
and,
kid.
and he kept stroking his long
Ugh.
blech,
Blech.
and,
Blech.
and I was just like, I can't.
Well, it's
deal
like
with
the
this.
rat tail. Like, why was that
Oh.
a thing that anyone ever did?
Rat
Probably
tail is
some
awful.
musician did it, or
I
some
mean,
professional
horrendous. Like,
wrestler. You never know
ugh. It
what's
just makes me
gonna
want to like brush my
trigger.
hair off my neck
Yes,
when I
I
think of
know.
a rat tail. I'm like, get it off of me.
Oh, I know the rat tail. That was popular.
It's really-
Why? I don't
Well, the
know.
mohawk still sometimes is popular.
I know Fawn
never
puts
know.
Sage's hair in a mohawk sometimes. for
No, I
fun, and
saw
I
that, yeah.
absolutely hate
I
mohawks.
know, me too.
They drive me crazy. I'm just like, this is dumb. You look dumb. And Sage, like, went to school with one the other day and he was like, I look so cool. And I'm like, yeah, bud. Sure. He's so funny. Lately, he's been saying, I had a different shirt on, but then I felt like I looked like a jerk, so I changed it.
Look like a jerk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, do these
well.
shorts make me look like a jerk? And I'm like, Sage, I think you couldn't look like a jerk if you tried.
No, I wouldn't think so.
You're 6 and you also have like a tiny Disney voice.
Do I look like a jerk?
And you're
I
like,
look like a jerk.
you're a very petite little guy. I'm like, you could what? I'm like, where did this come from? But yeah, he's said it like a couple times a week. Something like, I changed my socks because I look like a jerk.
Okay.
Or I thought I looked like a jerk. I'm not going to wear that. I'll look like a jerk.
Uh,
And it's always about clothes and him
I
looking like
remember
a
Andy
jerk.
going through it. Do I look handsome?
No.
Oh God.
And I'm like, well, we've never found any clothes that fit your scrawny, tall body
Yeah.
ever in your life. So
Yeah. It's as
Very,
handsome as
very
it's
true.
going to get
this
with
is as good as it's going to
the
get.
cut that
I
exists.
think through high school, all he did was wear oversized XL rock and roll T-shirts from KQRS and a pair of baggy pants that were at his ankles because nothing
Yeah.
fit that. point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
very
I feel like
true.
it's a lot better now. There's longs and slims and
Yeah, even
stuff.
for women, I can find not in stores,
Mhm.
mind you, but
Yeah.
I can find things that are talls. I can't find every pair of pants
Yeah.
in talls, but it is much better, and it's always been better for boys, really.
Yeah.
Jeans, you could always find jeans.
Yeah.
But
And
Yeah.
I mean, my children, I don't know what they would do without an elastic waistband
Yeah.
right.
or a drawstring waistband. I mean, they wouldn't be able to wear clothes. I don't know.
you'd have to.
Not happening.
I used to have to like put little tucks or
Yeah.
something in the waist.
Well, they have those inside of a lot of kids'
Yeah.
jeans and dress pants and stuff, like the elastic thing in the waistband.
Yeah, where you can cinch it up.
Yep. I know, but still, sometimes I cinch it up and then they have like this giant
Bubble
saggy
butt.
butt. And
Yeah,
I'm like, well, this
it's all bunched up.
isn't great. But Gap and Old Navy has slims, and those seem to. But I remember, like, we took Sage, and some of the slims even looked ridiculous
Yeah, they
on
did
him.
too,
I
yeah.
was like, well, Gap. I was like, Gap is made for square children.
Yes, it is made for square children and square people in general.
I was like, what sort of
Yeah.
stout situation is that? Nothing fit him there. Every pair of pants looked absolutely ridiculous on him. I was like, okay. But Old Navy Slims, I can confirm, if you have a tiny waisted human being in your life,
Yeah.
Old Navy Slims
Is where you
were.
go.
My boys
were.
were all husky.
Oh, yeah.
Husky.
I had big boys. I mean, well, they weren't like big. They were just big. I mean, they were just meatballs.
Yeah, big
And-
boned. Well, that's like all my nephews are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ethan
like
is solid.
Ethan's very solid.
God, like I
Bjorn,
said, another couple
Henrik,
of years, I'm
yeah,
not going to be
they're
able to hog tie him up.
No.
anymore. It's just not going to be able.
Yeah, they're like bowling ball people.
Oh my god!
And I feel like if I don't see Bjorn for a while, Mike's son, and then I see him, I'm like, he and Sage just have such a different body.
Yeah,
Like Sage has bird bones
Mhm.
and like the smallest waist ever, and Bjorn is just like a tiny linebacker. Like I remember she called me, his mom, my sister-in-law Christy, because she went to his checkup and his BMI was really high.
hmm
And then doctor was like, or the nurse who was at the appointment or whatever was like, you need to watch his weight and these are the things you should be feeding him and he should have exercise. And Christy called me and was like, I know that you had the opposite of this problem with Fawn because her BMI was extremely low. And a nurse was like, you have to feed her full avocados and spoon feed her coconut oil and all this stuff. And then I talked to the pediatrician and he was like, does she play? Does she have energy? Does she eat when there's food in front of her? Does she ask for food? Is she gray
Mhm.
looking? That okay, you're fine. Like if
healthy.
she's a normal, if you can tell that she's a normal, healthy kid, don't worry about it. So that's what I told Christy too. I was like, nobody's looking at Bjorn thinking like that kid
that
kid needs to lose some weight. Because there are some children that it's like,
Sure.
what is this kid even doing?
Mhm.
Mhm.
But Bjorn is not one of those children. And I'm like, he just has big bones.
Yeah, my boys were like that, and
Yeah.
they were always in the 98th percentile
Yeah,
for
that's
weight.
exactly. Yeah.
And their pediatrician, he goes, don't worry about it. I have a feeling they're gonna grow out of it. They're gonna be tall. And sure enough, my oldest boy, he's like 6 foot and he weighs like he's actually underweight.
Oh yeah.
And my middle son Charlie, he's like 6'2" and he's like a perfect healthy weight.
Yeah.
And Max, my youngest, he does have some weight issues, but he does have some food issues.
Yeah.
He likes to gorge and things like that. But
yeah.
he also takes after his father. He has his father's body type, which
Are you
is
saying that Dave likes to gorge? No.
he does like to go. He loves his talkies. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, he's built more like his father. So he's built like a bigger boy and stuff like that. But he's starting to thin out because he's getting taller. He's
Right.
actually just past me. So now I am literally the shortest
The
person in the
shortest
house
one.
now.
Yeah,
It's
know. I'm
official.
like, it happens,
I know.
especially if you have all
Not
boys.
for me.
Yes.
Yeah, not for you.
Yeah, not for you.
me.
It didn't happen. And you're absolutely right. I got to run something by the three women on the show today because I guess I've heard of it, but what is pregnancy brain?
Oh, it's sort of like
It's
Just brain fog.
Yeah.
What's a foggy brain? Does it actually happen?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it does.
Mm.
Just get scatterbrained.
Okay, well, I got to read this story for you then. A guy in Brooklyn made a video after his pregnant wife ordered groceries and they showed up at the front door. Her sister posted footage and blamed what she ordered on pregnancy brain. She ordered and they showed up at the front door 99 bunches of bananas.
Oh, did she accidentally put in the wrong quantity?
Gotta be. It's gotta be something like that.
Well, I've
had
had
the store call you.
yeah.
Or
See,
send you a message.
They
saying,
took 'em all
"You
back.
really want 99 bunches of
And what
bananas?"
store has that many?
Yeah,
bananas?
that's like
Aldi.
all the bananas in the store.
Well,
Big
I've
crate.
I've definitely on Instacart been like, oh, I want 4 carrots, and then accidentally ordered 4 bags of carrots.
Oh,
That's happened to me before.
carrot soup for everybody.
Yeah, so it was like we're having a lot of carrot things, carrot muffins, carrot soup, carrot. Yeah, we made a lot of carrot things. Well, luckily my children really like carrots, so I was
Yeah.
like, we always have a bag of carrots in our fridge, pretty much.
Carrots.
Yes,
Mhm.
carrots. But I mean, okay, the thing that I have found is when people describe pregnancy brain, I feel like I'm always like, this is what it's like to have ADHD a little bit.
Mhm.
Like when people say, oh, my pregnancy brain, or oh, I did this because of pregnancy brain, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that's my life every second of every day. So welcome.
Mhm.
And like, I didn't feel any more spacey than I normally do. So,
Yeah, you're just very
So it's a blessing.
scatterbrained.
Yeah.
You know, that's what
Yeah.
pregnancy brain is.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, yeah, that's just how it is.
Mhm.
Yours gets to go away though.
Yours gets to go away. All right, we got a minute or two left. Any closing comments?
Oh,
Well, I'm sure you've talked about the new addition to the family, Colin.
Colin,
Yes.
yeah.
We'll see him today.
Tiny
Yes.
Colin.
congratulations to you guys as well.
Yeah.
To
Well,
the
we're
new
taking-
addition.
Baby.
Congratulations to Catherine and me because we're taking the ever active Ethan.
God.
More
to
good
the
luck. than
splash pad.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The splash pad. You're going to have a blast, Tom.
No, not the splash pad.
Oh, we're
gonna
not
take
going
him
to
to like a
splash pad?
shoots and ladders kind of a thing.
Oh, I thought it was a splash pad,
No, because it's supposed to be hot
It is supposed to be hot.
today.
but not muggy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he likes this. I guess he likes his shoots and ladders, and he will just lose his mind for 2 hours, and we will bring him home very, very tired.
Tired.
And that
I-
will be
The
good.
one in Maple Grove.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Stop, Jude. You said all right, and Jude jumped up like we're
he's like,
leaving.
oh,
I was going to say,
No.
are you talking about like shoots and ladders in Bloomington?
that's yeah. and
I
there's
grew
that in
up
Blooming-
on
yes.
that playground, man, and they used to have a metal tube slide.
Yeah.
Oh.
We used to take wax paper and sit on it.
Oh
You
God!
wouldn't believe how fast we would fly up.
Oh,
And that was when the metal one went all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They had two
Now they're
of
all
them.
plastic. Yeah.
Yeah, now they're all plastic, but they had 2 metal slides. They had one at that went to the very, very top.
Yep.
And then they had one that was like kind of medium.
That's how. Yeah. Now those are both plastic.
Yeah, but
well,
they
the
used to be
plastic ones
metal.
give you electric shocks all
Oh,
the
I
way
Yes,
hate
down.
there's definitely
plastic
an electric shock.
slides.
I know. There's one time we go to Shoots and Ladders a lot because we live in Bloomington. And
Uh-huh.
one time Dan saw a kid take out a pocket knife and start cutting the netting.
Oh my God.
And he goes up to the kid and he was like, "Give me the knife." And the kid's like, "Oh." And he's like, "Where is your grown up?" And then he was like, "Over there." And Dan's like, "This kid had a knife." And he was cutting the thing. And the mom was like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, God.
I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And Dan
It'd be
like
nice
came
to
back.
track that kid.
I know, because we were talking, and all of a sudden Dan was like, "Hang on 1 second," and then like ran, and I was like, "What? I thought a kid was,
Yeah,
like
hurt or something.
hurt or something." And then he came back, and he was like, "The kid just had a knife cutting the netting." I was like, "Well, at least it was the netting." I don't know.
Good
God.
Lord.
All right,
Yeah.
that is going to do it. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Da, 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 da.
Okay. Turn this
You
off.
going nuts on my legs
Okay,
again?
I've got to